Hello. The building over there is an abandoned Shari restaurant on Northeast Thurston Way in Vancouver, Washington. Before we take a look at it, let's check out the standalone for lease sign behind me. That's the one. I don't know why they decided to put the sign in the glass, but they didn't put a poster in the front door. How odd is that? Alright, let's go check out the building. Signs are still hanging around. The restaurant closed back in October 2024. The other Shari's orchards in Vancouver is still open. Here's the vestibule. The classy wooden door with 2 windows. Never seen that unspoken sign before. It looks cool. By the way, this restaurant was built in 1982. There was another Shari Hungarian Square shopping center built the same year, I think. I can't tell which one opened first in Vancouver. By the way, the Shari's Hungarian Square was the first in the city to shut down back in late 2009, long before a few others nearby went out of business. In 2010, a family restaurant took over the old Shari's, but it was short-lived. Unfortunately, the building ended up being torn down. You can see the old high display case right in front of you. There's a few glass panes with Shari's logo. They should have been taken away. The restrooms are on the left side. I imagine the men's and women's room are pretty tiny. There's a baby seating as well. Look at those hanging like fixtures. They kind of resemble UFOs. Some former Shari's locations in the Portland area, like the ones in Delta Park and Northeast 122nd Avenue, have those exact dining lights. It's just weird that we don't have Shari's anymore in Oregon. The employees were given only a few hours notice before the shutdown occurred. Honestly, what the CEO did to them was the wrong move. Shari's is still technically around outside of Oregon. For example, Washington have 5 locations left. The last Shari had orchards in Vancouver like I mentioned earlier, as well as Moses Lake, Olympia, Puyallup, and Bellingham. California and Idaho also have a few locations remaining. I heard the last Shari's in Vancouver renewed its lease, so it'll be around. At the same time, it's surprising to see them open. I would not be shocked to see them closing in the near future. I know of 2 other Shari's in Vancouver that have closed. The one at Cascade Park Plaza shut down in September 2024, and the one on South Street 164 Avenue closed in February 2023. I filmed a video of the abandoned Shari's on South Street 164 Avenue a few months after it closed. There's a big book along with cool picture frames hanging on the wall. Got some additional books over here. This window door obviously leads to the kitchen. I noticed there's no video poker in this old restaurant, and that's because Washington doesn't allow businesses to have video poker rooms. In Oregon it's allowed, and Shari used to offer it too. The Oregon lottery demanded that Shari pay nearly $1 million, but I don't think they're doing it. I think offering video poker before the shutdown was a bad decision on Shari's part. As I have mentioned in other former Shari videos, if they hadn't invested in slot machines, some of the restaurants might still be open, though struggling. As for the abandoned Shari at Cascade Park Plaza, I have to check it out later. Anyways, there were other problems when Shari was struggling. We know they were all short-staffed, which caused slow service, small portions, quick win surges of certain foods, and prices that were way too high. Cisco stopped delivering food ingredients and such because Shari stopped making payments. Also, Shari hadn't been paying their rent and utility bills for several months. That's the exit door. Got a large carbon dioxide cylinder tank over here. Nearly every Shari have one of those machines. This door obviously leads to the kitchen. Over there by the fence is where the old dumpster was located. Still some random stuff by the fence, no surprise there. This is the kitchen window. There you go. It's a pretty small kitchen, as you can see. There's always a small kitchen in every Shari's. Got some things left behind above the ceiling. I'm sure nobody noticed those things while they were cleaning out the place after the shutdown. Wonder why they didn't bother double checking the place. You can see most of the kitchen equipment and supplies are gone. However, the first aid kit in the wall still has some items in it. This is the employee's break area. 2 of the booth colors are different for some reason. Wonder why is that? Interesting. Oh yes, this door on the right leads to the dry storage room. Those glass setups were for the soda fountain. 'Soda 'Fountain'. Got my exit on the left. Looks like the right machine and the left was the H machine. I'm sure about that. Obviously, most series are covered with windows. I absolutely hate it. It's hard to see the inside because all the lights are turned off. Most of the other abandoned series I've come across sometimes leave their lights on and don't bother covering the windows with shades. By the way, the vacant Shari is in the shopping plaza near Vancouver Mall. I can definitely see a new tenant taking over the spot. Plus, it's in a great spot. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that the old Shari of Cascade Park Plaza may eventually be torn down. There's a proposal for a new shopping plaza to be built in this place. I really hate seeing former Shari get demolished, in my opinion. Unfortunately, many of them have been torn down in the past. I would much rather see those iconic hexagon buildings reused to preserve the true Shari's look. Not all of them got torn down, so that's a good sign, at least. Moving on. Oh wow, take a look at this. Somebody tried breaking into the old Shari's. That's really ridiculous. About this particular Shari's, the exterior was repainted white, and I believe that happened sometime in 2023. The interior hasn't changed much and still looks the same, even though it was renovated back in 2015, I believe. You know, it kinda resembles the abandoned Shari's on Northeast 181st Avenue in Portland that I filmed. The old Shari's look really nice, both inside and out. You'll see what I mean by checking out the video in the description if you haven't seen it yet. It's a shame that this Shari spent money repainting the exterior for nothing. Besides that, there used to be more than 40 Shari's restaurants in Washington years ago. Now, like I said earlier, there are only 5 left. I know Oregon used to have a total of 45 Shari's locations. When those articles said 42 were closed, the other 3 had actually shut down years before the big shutdown. A while back, I was looking through the internet archive of Shari's website from 2001. I found a section that Shari was growing and did some reading. They were even asking people to suggest where they should open new locations. For example, they were considering states like Montana, Utah, Kansas, and Nevada. Ironically, there was actually a Shari's in Utah back in the 90s. Anyway, the expansion into 4 states unfortunately never happened. I think if they did expand into the 4 states back then, they might have ended up going out of business too. In the end, they only focused on opening a few more locations in Oregon and Idaho. Wyoming, Nebraska, Texas, Colorado, Arizona, and Utah no longer have any Shari's locations. I get the feeling that the few Shari's left in Washington, plus the ones in California and Idaho, might all close down soon. If it does happen, I will never forget about them. Shari's were one of my favorites when I was growing up. Here's the last shot. And that'll be it. That's gonna wrap up for the video. Make sure to like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see you on the other side.